Why do I need surveys? I know what my guests like. I would like to say I've never heard that before, but you might be shocked at the number of hospitality property owners I have met who have said just that or something similar. I'm going to explain why you need surveys. Welcome to another edition of Hospitality Property School. I am your instructor, Jerry McPherson. If you haven't subscribed yet, do it now, and make sure to hit the little bell so you'll be informed when I upload a new video. You won't want to miss anything I designed especially for you. I'm going to give you 4 important reasons why your hospitality property should be conducting surveys. To find out what's going on. If your customers are given a non-threatening method, they will tell you what's important to them. 2. A survey can shed light on items or problems that you might not have been aware of that could be a symptom of a larger problem. 3. When making decisions about your property, you do not always have to go with your gut feelings, but instead make your choices with sound data-driven information. 4. Surveys provide you with a snapshot of your target guests and their attitudes. This will help you establish a baseline from which you can compare other times and determine whether problems are getting better or worse. I'm going to share with you some categories of surveys and sample questions. Market research. How well positioned is my property or service? Would I increase my market share if I changed an aspect of my property or service? How do visitors see my website? Product development. Will our new idea work? Will our target population be excited about our new idea? What does our target population need? Employee performance evaluation. Do guests think our staff is courteous and helpful? What do our guests think of the service they receive from our employees? How can you ask your guests for feedback? Many hospitality property owners are nervous about asking guests for feedback, as it could look pushy or rude. This could be true, so you have to make sure it's done correctly. At checkout, ask your guests if they would mind filling out a short survey. You can tell them that it is your goal to deliver the best possible experience for your guests, and by filling out this quick survey, you can find out if you're doing things right and where there's room for improvement. Post day. If your guests have a takeaway postage paid survey or you offer surveys online, send your guests an email to thank them for their visit and remind them for their feedback. This can drastically increase your survey responses. How to improve your property survey. Here are a few things to think about to get the highest possible completion rate. The length of your survey. Stay under 25 questions and easy to read. It should not take longer than 10 to 15 minutes to complete. Is this making sense? Let me know in the comments section. Attention grabbing. Ask interesting questions at the beginning of the survey to grab guests' attention. Flow to your questions. Most of our minds work in a logical fashion, so your survey should as well. Follow the process your guest would have taken from reservation to checkout and group the questions accordingly. Impartiality. Your goal is to get honest answers from your guests, so when asking questions, stay away from the ones that offer only yes or no answers. For example, did you like our checkout procedure? Instead, you could ask, how do you feel about the checkout procedure? Stay away from industry terminology. Instead of saying OTA, for example, use third-party reservation site or online travel agency. Your guests might find travel terminology confusing. Ask one question at a time. For example, don't ask about both the front desk and the room service in the same question. The guest could make a statement that could be about the front desk or about the room service, and you would not be sure. Ask update questions. If you would like specific information about a certain aspect of your property, make sure to ask the question. For example, what do you think of the new renovations? Or ask their opinions on possible new changes. Check to report. If there are certain questions that quite often do not get answered, ask why. Maybe they are unclear or something your guests do not care about. What are the right questions to ask? The first thing you have to know is, how well do you know your target market? Their pains, their problems, their motivations, Are you marketing your hospitality property online and feel like your message is falling flat? Do people understand what you have to offer? Do you know your target market? When you give your customers specific instructions for completing the survey question, ask them for as much detail as possible and try to discourage one-word answers such as time or money. By having this question by itself on a form or a page, it will have the full attention of the reader. There are follow-up questions that can be used successfully as well. If you ask for the person's name, email, and phone number, I would recommend making this optional. The following are examples of 6 follow-up questions that you can customize to service your needs. Question 1. Have you ever tried blank? If no, why not? Question 2. What is the biggest obstacle or struggle that is stopping you from booking? Question 3. What are the negative consequences of this struggle? Question 4. What is your ideal solution to this problem? Question 5. What are the positive consequences and results of solving this problem? And question 6. If you had a chance to ask me one question, what would it be? You can use either the 1-question survey, the 6-question survey, or a combination of both. There are several software platforms you can use to create surveys, including the free Google Forms. I would also consider checking out SurveyMonkey or SurveyFunnel, which have more functions, as well as the ability to ask more than one question per page. How do you interpret all the survey results? Print them out and read the question each time out loud, followed by the answer. Even better yet, have someone else read them to you. It's important not to judge the responses and to be present to the words. There are those who might not be able to fully convey what they are trying to say with just words, but you can still get a feel of the energy or emotion behind the response. In conclusion, it's not about the number of complete surveys received. It's all about the quality of your interpretation and how you are able to use that information in your business. Do you currently use surveys to gather information from your guests? Let me know in the comments. You will have access to this episode for 6 weeks and 6 weeks only. Then it's going to be locked in the vault for Hospitality Property School Group members only. If you want to see all the valuable material you would have access to as a member of the Hospitality Property School Group, check out the short video in the episode's post show notes. In the next episode, I will talk about how to conduct market research. That's it for today's episode. Until next time, have a fun day. What'd you think of the last insider tips? Didn't see it? Well, you can find the link in the show notes.